On May 2, 2003, Mahendra Sharma, a respected lawyer, was returning to his village from a nearby town. Normally, when he arrived at his home, his children would be waiting at the door, their eyes lighting up at the sight of him. That day, however, the house was eerily empty. None of his 3 children were home. At first, Mahendra assumed they had gone out for a short while. Perhaps they were visiting friends, helping relatives, or simply playing outside. He had no idea that within the very walls of his own house, a nightmare was waiting for him. His children's lifeless bodies, completely burned, lay silently in the rooms above. What began as a normal day soon turned into a horrifying mystery, revealing dark secrets and twisted relationships within a family that, from the outside, seemed ordinary. Let's delve deeper into this tragic case surrounding Mahendra Sharma and the events that shook an entire community. Before we start, I want to clarify that all the information presented comes from official court records, witness statements, and case files. There are no photographs involved, and even if there were, they cannot be shown due to legal restrictions. This story is based entirely on verified accounts. Mahendra Kumar Sharma, 59 years old at the time, was a senior lawyer living in a duplex in the Court Road area of Shivpuri. He had built a life of respect and influence. His home was in a quiet neighborhood where families lived in individual houses, and Mahendra was known for being approachable, friendly, and always willing to help neighbors. He lived with his wife, Shakuntala, and their 4 children, Girish, Rohit, Lata, and the youngest, Sandeep. Rohit, Lata, and Sandeep lived at home, while Girish mostly stayed with his grandfather in the village, helping in the fields. Shakuntala sometimes stayed in the village, sometimes at home in Shivpuri, which meant that Mahendra's primary daily life revolved around his 3 younger children. Like most families, small arguments were part of daily life. Neighbors occasionally overheard them because of the proximity of the houses. These small domestic quarrels, however, would soon pale in comparison to the shocking events that would unfold. On May 1, 2003, as usual, their cook, Prem Bai, arrived at 9 a.m., prepared the family meals, and left around 11 a.m. She had worked with the family for years and was trusted enough to be alone in the house when needed. That day, Mahendra had gone to Gwalior to discuss his daughter Lata's marriage proposal. His children were at home, and Shakuntala was attending a wedding in a nearby village. That morning, a client arrived to discuss a legal matter. All family members were on the upper floor. As the client tried to speak with Mahendra, loud shouting from the children echoed through the house. They were being scolded, crying uncontrollably. The client, unable to communicate through the noise, left. By 3 p.m., Mahendra departed for Gwalior by bus. He stayed overnight and was scheduled to return the next evening at 8 p.m. Upon arriving home, he noticed the front door was locked. This was unusual. At least one child was normally home at all times. Thinking the children had gone out and would return shortly, he waited. Hours passed, but no one came. Concerned, Mahendra finally broke the door open. The house was dark. There was no electricity. Searching for his children, he realized calling out in the darkness would be pointless. Sitting on the ground floor, he waited, hoping they would return soon. The neighborhood lights eventually came back, but the power in his own home remained out. Feeling anxious, he called a neighbor, Suresh Oja, to check the fuse. Though the fuse was fixed, the upper floor lights stayed off. Even after power returned, Mahendra did not immediately check the upper floor, where the children were. Perhaps he was too stressed, tense, or overwhelmed to think clearly. Hours passed, and he waited on the ground floor, eventually falling asleep there. The next morning, May 2nd, Prem Bai arrived to cook as usual. She saw Mahendra standing outside the house, silent and anxious. She tried to question him, but he dismissed her, saying the children had gone out and that he would meet them for lunch. Prem Bai left, unaware of the nightmare unfolding inside. Hours passed and Mahendra's worry grew. Finally, he called his eldest son, Girish, who immediately returned from the village. Once he arrived, Mahendra revealed the full story. As they spoke, a burning smell reached them, and they began searching the house. They recalled that due to the previous night's power outage, They had not checked the upper floor. When they ascended the stairs, they were met with an unimaginable sight. The room was destroyed, diaries and letters scattered everywhere, and in the center lay Lata and Sundeep, completely burned. The bodies had been charred for hours, decomposing slowly. Mahendra collapsed in shock, unable to comprehend the horror. Despite his shock, Mahendra gathered himself and immediately informed the police. Word spread quickly throughout the neighborhood. Shakuntala returned and, upon seeing her children's burned bodies, collapsed to the ground. The grief, confusion, and horror they felt are nearly impossible to imagine. Their only hope was that the authorities would uncover the truth and bring justice. Police began questioning neighbors immediately. Mahesh San, a neighbor, reported that Mahendra's hands and legs were trembling, and he was muttering, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." Another neighbor noticed smoke coming from the roof the night before and saw a man claiming a mattress fire caused it. Amidst all this chaos, Rohit Sharma, Mahendra's son, was conspicuously absent. Neither Mahendra nor Girish initially mentioned his disappearance. Police began suspecting him, especially after Mohan Singh Bhadoria reported seeing Rohit buying kerosene on May 1st. The kerosene could have been used to burn the bodies. Letters and a diary found at the scene revealed disturbing allegations. Mahendra allegedly had an illicit relationship with his daughter Lata, and Rohit resented her deeply. These revelations suggested a possible motive for the crime. Dren had simply gone out. Even Prem Bai was misled to serve as their unknowing alibi. The trial lasted 2 years. In 2005, Mahendra was sentenced to life imprisonment. Rohit, the son who burned the bodies, vanished after May 2, 2003. Despite extensive searches, he was never found. Over 21 years later, his fate remains unknown. He could be living under a new identity, in another state, or possibly dead. Information on this case is scarce because mainstream media did not cover it, and there are no photographs. Fortunately, viewers brought it to my attention, allowing this story to be shared today. Always remain vigilant in your surroundings. One small observation can change lives. That concludes today's case. If you enjoy true crime documentaries, please subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, stay safe and take care.